Well, Dan, you were born in Blacktown. You could have quite easily gone to the Western Sydney Wanderers. Why did you choose the Melbourne Victory?
Well, I've only heard, I don't know much about the A-League, to tell you the truth. I followed it when I came home for Christmas and New Year's, and what I've heard about the Melbourne Victory was just, all fun, all just top news, you know what I mean? I don't know much about anything else, so when I heard about Melbourne, and Mr. Muscat called me and we had a long chat, and I made my decision to come here.
How determined was Mr. Muscat to bring you to Melbourne Victory?
Yeah, it was a couple of days of sitting down and thinking what to do. Personally, I laid out all my options, and it was a big help that Mr. Muscat called me. We had a long conversation again, and yeah, it was good. I don't know. I'm eager to start the season. I'm eager to get back into shape and form and start winning.
How's the experience in Romania?
Yeah, it's definitely built my game up to a different level. It's built my body up and my mind and experience-wise. So with that, I would like to bring that into my game here and as a Melbourne Victory player.
And what about playing against the likes of Chelsea and in the Champions League? That's been pretty cool.
Yeah, it was an experience. It was something different, obviously. I learned from it. Just from 2 games playing. It's something you dream of as a child. I was waking up to watch a Champions League and now to actually be able to play with the likes of Torres and Neto and Hazard. It was just, it's a dream come true. But the dream was short-lived, and now I'm here. So I'm happy to bring that experience here from as much as possible.
So how old were you when you left Marconi for Croatia?
I was about 18, okay. 18 and a half.
So it's been a while since you've been back in Oz?
Yeah, well, like I said, I came back only for Christmas and New Year, and that was just to get out of football, just get back to my family, get back to being who I am, get that whole lifestyle, leave it in Europe and come here. And as I said, I used to watch the A-League, and as the seasons went past, it started getting better and better, and that's what made my decision much easier to come here.
Yeah. So you come into a club obviously that's got young fullbacks, Jake Scaria, Scott Galloway, who have been doing pretty well the last year or so. What do you make of sort of that competition for spots across the back four?
Well, it's good to have competition. It's part of our game. If it was only one player per each position, then it would be much easier. But when you have younger players coming in and they're eager to play, they want to show themselves. So that's actually more motivation for someone like myself to push forward and actually use that as an inspiration and confidence.
And what sort of role has Kevin spoken to you about that? Is it like, will you be able to play on both sides of the fence if required throughout the year, or even going to midfield or anything like that?
Yeah, that's what we spoke about most of the time, because obviously we have younger backs, so with me coming in, it'll be either left or right. It really depends on the situation and what is needed. So I'm just a worker. Whatever the coach says you do, and you do with the best of your ability.
So you're comfortable playing on both sides of the fence?
Yeah.
And what was your sort of knowledge of the Victory's background and Kevin's background as a player and as a coach?
Well, being raised in Sydney, you always see, followed. I knew Kevin Muscat before I was a coach. Obviously, I used to follow the NSL back then, and obviously his career as a Socceroo, and I knew him as a football player, but now as a coach, he's obviously brought it back into his managerial jobs, and I don't know what to say about that. It's good. It's nice that we've got a coach, obviously like my last coach, who was an ex-player, and they obviously played overseas, so he knows what is out there and what's to bring it in. It's a good combination of both.
The Socceroos would have loved to have you as at least part of their setup. Why did you choose to play for Macedonia?
Well, it's actually it's a bonus as a player to have two citizenships. So I didn't get called up by Australia at all, or I haven't had no communication with them. So when Macedonia called, it's a national team. I was more over the moon when I got called for the 18, because I was playing for juniors as well. And I never got a call up, just straight away. It's the only answer I can possibly give. Never got no communication with them.
Well, you got to sign the boy from Blacktown. You bring him all the way to Melbourne. It's pretty exciting times for the club.
Yeah, it is, and the season's fast approaching as well. And we head across to Canberra this afternoon for tomorrow night's game. And as you said, Daniel joins the group and adds some real depth and competition to that area of the park for us.
How insistent were you on trying to get him to the club? Obviously, he's coming from Romania, a big club, and getting him to the Victory.
Yeah, a little bit of work had to be done, but we're pretty proud of how we go about things and where we train and the professionals in the football club. So You know, and speaking to him immediately, he was aware of all these things, and you know, I dare say when he got here, he was pleasantly surprised as well.
And getting him at age 26, it's a big upside compared to some of the previous transfers we've seen coming back to Australia.
Yeah, and it was important to us, and as I said, you know, first and foremost, it was you know, about, you know, getting some real serious competition and some real depth in those areas where, you know, we've got three very good young fullbacks, you know, and they'll be, you know, throughout the season, you know, according to various national teams as well. And as you said, you know, getting, you know, Daniel to commit and come back to Australia at the age that he has, I think it's also a feather in the cap of the Hyundai A League, and you know, how far, you know, the competition has come. And you know, as I said, you know, apart from all that, once we, you know, Daniel did arrive and he had a look around and you know, trained with the boys, he was, you know, pleasantly surprised, you know, with the professionalism and I suppose the intensity of the way we train.
Looking forward to tomorrow night.
Yeah, and I said from the start, you know, we'd respect this competition, and tomorrow night won't be any different. We'll go across there and realise it's not going to be easy. They've sold quite a few tickets, and it seems like it's you know, they're really put the effort in to make it a good show, and you know, hopefully we can reciprocate, because we're going to go there with a serious ambition to get through to the next round.
What do you know about Tuggeranong?
Well, we've managed to see, you know, some footage of them, you know, through their, you know, domestic competition. They're going to pose some threats. They've got some pace in the final third of the park, and they'll make us, you know, earn everything we do get in our half, in our attacking half as well. They get a lot of bodies behind the ball, and they seem to be, you know, relatively well structured.
You've already got a lot of competition for spots. Obviously, you take every game seriously, but in terms of your lineup and everything like that, will it be a full strength sort of side? Or?
Well, what's full strength at this time of year, really? You know, we've managed to, you know, make sure that everyone's had an opportunity to get out and play. It gives us another opportunity also at this time of year to take another step in the right direction in terms of you know, heading towards that first game of the season. But you know, certainly there'll be no risks taken tomorrow night with individuals, but you know, we want to better the performance we put on in Adelaide on Friday afternoon, and you know, that's going to be the mindset going into the game.
You talk about building up to the season. Is this another valuable piece of information for you in terms of seeing how your players go, or do you have to treat it as something slightly different, given clearly you're not playing against Tuggeranong during the season proper?
Yeah, look, we've, you know, putting into perspective, like I said, we're going to respect the competition. You know, we're going to go there trying to get a result, but at the same time, I think we've learnt over the, you know, a period of time that you know, performance comes before results. Albeit in the back of our mind we want to get a result, you know, we're concentrating on getting the performance right. And as I said, you know, each game that we've gone into throughout this pre-season, we've you know, taken a step in the right direction, and tomorrow night is no different. We want to come away from the game, you know, thinking that we've improved on our last game.
Have you gone back over the Bayswater game at all? Because maybe local sides may have a tendency to play the same way, in that they're probably more likely to play a bit deeper when they're playing against A-League sides.
Yeah, and I think you know, we take lessons out of that game, and you know, the first half hour we were good, you know, we were very good, and you know, maybe fell away. So that was probably disappointing. Come away from, you know, you pick the paper up and think it was a convincing 2-0 win, but you know, in the end it probably wasn't. You know, we left the door half open, and you know, I want to try and go there tomorrow night. And as I said, you know, we've had a few games since that Bayswater, and we've improved in each of them. So you know, tomorrow night's another opportunity for us to improve and get a lot of good stuff, get a lot of conditioning out of the game, get a lot of good stuff tactically out of the game and technically. And we're looking forward to it. We go across there, as I said, with a real ambition to come back with ourselves in the next round.